Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of I Live for This review, Dragula, Season 6, Episode 9.
A double view.
9.
You know what that means? The
What?
mark of the devil.
9?
999, I heard, was like the mark of the devil. That's why they said season 666.
I thought 666 was
I
the
think it's technically the number nine.
that doesn't even add up to 9.
What do you mean?
666 doesn't even add up to 9. So
No, I'm saying six upside down is nine. And a lot of people say 999 is the mark of the devil as well.
well, girl, an M upside down is a W, but that don't mean shit.
Literally. Same with six.
Well, welcome back to another episode. We're super excited. We have a fabulous guest, but before we get into that, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment on each of our Dragula reviews, and you enter for a chance to win an exclusive merch package directly from the Boulets themselves. It's going to be a bunch of different items. You can't get it anywhere else. And so make sure that you're doing that. Again, that is liking, subscribing, and commenting on all of our reviews from start to finish of this season. Also, Serve Vodka is a sponsor of Dragula. My flavor is mixed berries, and you can buy that if you are not in one of the states that carries it in person at servevodka.com. All right, well, let's go ahead and welcome our guest. I'm super excited. My personal favorite of the season. And they go by the name
Your
of
favorite for a lot of reasons.
Gray Matter. Hi, Gray, and welcome to our podcast. We're super excited to have you.
I really wanted to have some red sequins behind me, but it didn't work out today. So
Oh,
I'm very happy to be here, and I've been catching up with everything. And I want to say thank you for all the love and support, and just the positivity has just been validating and fun to watch.
No, you're amazing. We've been enjoying everything you've been presenting.
Thank you, thank
literally,
you.
you're like one of our favorites. I think I speak for me and Chantel. The top three for sure is the top three that we saw from the
We
very
said that from the beginning.
and you're totally deserving, and I'm wishing you nothing but the best. But we're super excited to get to know you a little bit more. First of all, how old are you?
I'm 32.
A baby.
I'm a
As
baby.
you are. Well, where do you currently live?
So I'm in Houston, Texas. Right now I'm at my friend's house in LA, but that's why my time zones are a little fucked up. But
Yeah.
I'm on vacation. I shouldn't know times right now.
Oh my gosh, we have to hook you up with our very good friend Madison. She is she doesn't watch Drag Race or Dragula or anything, but she's such a fun time gal. Like you would have so much fun with her. I've known her since I was 16. She's like my longest friend, and she lives in Houston. She's so
Oh, are you
She's
ever in
amazing.
Houston?
I haven't been to Houston in years, but I mean Madison lives there, so it gives me a reason to go for sure. You play video games?
No, not a big gamer.
I'm not
Never
either.
really have been. I just my ADHD. I'd rather be wandering the house or something.
Haunting your house. Well,
Yes.
let's start some questions. Chantel, I know you have tons of questions. So why don't you ask your first one, then I'll get into some fan questions.
I mean, mine are just kind of like stuff about the show, but okay, here's one question. Um, so where do you see yourself doing, where do you see your, hold on, where do you see your
Yeah, girl.
drag?
Reread it. Girl, sound it
Listen,
out.
I just wrote these questions about 30 minutes ago. Okay, so looking ahead, where do you see your drag evolving? Are there any new projects or collaborations that you're excited about after, all the Dragula stuff?
Right. So, I mean, this year's been a whirlwind, obviously, recording the show and everything. I'm still excited to travel and to meet fans and just really to explore cities and, connect with the fan base. Other than that, obviously collaborations would be great. I do enjoy just being in front of people and interacting, and I always like to look scary, but I'm really just like a bubbly, silly, I'm a person underneath all this, so I just like to
Yeah.
have fun and enjoy it.
You seem really
What? You're not
sweet.
dead? You're not dead?
With I know you said you like to be in front of people and stuff. Is it like didn't you say that you used to work in haunted houses?
I do, and I still run a large commercial haunted house in Houston. So
Word.
I was doing that at the same time the show was coming out. So I'm happy October's over because I get to focus on gray matter a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yes, I started in the haunted house industry when I was 16 and then just became someone who builds animatronic props and makes them look scary and does set design and construction. And then also I deal with all of our personnel and there are a lot of moving pieces and it's a labor of love for sure.
Yeah. I guess what brings me to another question is um since you did haunted houses like since you were younger, what
Mhm.
inspired you to audition for Dragula?
So I've been a fan of Dragula since it was like first put out there in 2016. I was obviously a fan of Drag Race, and I was in the haunted house community, so it kind of brought the two worlds together and like showed a little bit more of that to the world. I didn't think I necessarily fit the mold for that.
Yeah.
And so it took me watching several seasons to be like, you know what? It's finally time for me to throw my hat in the ring. And I felt mentally ready after some obstacles with sobriety and just really trying to elevate my craft and, wanting to bring home the crown. I didn't want to just get on the show just to, be on it for a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Well, that you brought up one thing that a fan asked about. I guess they're definitely going through their sobriety right now,
hmm
and they asked, what advice would you give to someone starting their sobriety?
So everyone's sobriety is like their own path. You can take other people's suggestions, but at the end of the day, you have to find what works for you. It's easier if you want it more than just need it. Um, Something that helped me through is rewarding myself when I would, 24 hours sober, let's go get some ice cream. Like just putting something tangible like a reward really did help get through the beginning days. And don't discredit if you only have a week because those are the most important times in your sobriety. So that's when you really should be the most proud of yourself.
That's great. How long have you been sober?
I just reached 3 years in September.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
That's got to be hard, especially in this industry, because you're constantly around people who are partying and drinking other substances. So,
Yeah.
how do you personally deal with that?
So, usually when I'm going in to do work, um, I have a job to do, and I know in my head that I'm not a normal drinker, so one's not going to be enough. So sometimes I'll fantasize about it, but then I just remember all the like mistakes and everything I've ever made, and I've built my life up so much in these past 3 years that I know it could, all just be taken away if I just started drinking again. So I really do enjoy going out and just having fun with people. And I can see someone who's drinking and I'm like, good, you're having fun. I would probably be blackout drunk already. So,
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's hard to be around people like because my boyfriend is also he's recovering and all that.
mhm.
But do you feel like it's hard to be around people when they're like I know sometimes my boyfriend will say like some people will make him feel bad because he don't want to drink or he doesn't want to do certain things. Do you ever feel bad like if people ask you certain things or do you just be like, no, it's cool to
I,
not do that too?
I'm 100% an open book and you can't force me to do anything. I will tell you I'm an alcoholic. I've drank enough alcohol in my life, so I'm good.
That's how my boyfriend is too.
Yeah, the people that were transparent about their sobriety helped me get sober. So some people don't like to talk about it. On the other side of the spectrum, if I can help one person who's struggling, like it's helping them, but it's helping me at the same time. So
I think also one thing that really stood out to me that you said is you have to want it, not need it.
yeah, it
Because
helps. Yeah.
yeah, because that's how my boyfriend was. Like we had some really, really hard times.
Yeah.
And we got to the point where like our relationship ended and he had to want it. And he did want it. And
Yeah.
we wound up being, fixed and stuff, but it's hard. You have to definitely want it.
Oh yeah. I mean, you have to retrain yourself for, kind of everyday life because it's so ingrained and like holidays and other triggering events. You just kind of like navigate and it's all kind of new, but it's all so worth it. So,
Yeah.
it's the best thing I've ever done and everything else in my life has improved because of it.
Yeah. Well, look at you now. Like you're on Dragula and you're touring the
Yeah,
world.
that's cheers. Well, to go on to something a little bit more lighthearted, speaking of wanting it, well, these fans are thirsty, honey. One of the questions that I got was, and there was a couple I was like, I'm not asking that. Uh, and I'm sure you saw. How do you feel about fans thirsting after you in and out of drag and calling you daddy energy?
I would like daddy, but also baby girl.
Okay, yeah. Either both. Both.
um, so I mean, I'm flattered first off. I'm happy to get this attention as gray matter and on the stage, but also like out of drag. I mean, it's flattering, and if it's respectful, like fuck yeah, thank you so much. There have been a couple that are just, I'm like
Thirsty whores.
thirsty whores, but I mean, we all kind of are deep down, so
Yeah.
I understand.
They don't cross the line, consent, consent, consent.
Yeah, exactly. And don't touch me.
Okay, good to know. Don't touch Gray. Are you single?
No, I have a boyfriend.
Oh,
Oh, we've been together 4 years, so he's gone through my sobriety with me, and
that's right.
it's really great to have just somebody in my corner, especially going through a traumatic television series.
Yeah.
Um,
I
Yeah.
feel like if you can make it through that as a couple, you can do anything.
yeah, so I mean, he's great, and he's
He's great
he
and you're gray.
he sees all the thirst. I mean, we all do, and most times we just laugh it off, but
Well, if you've been together for like 4 years and like him knowing like you're gonna go through all of this, he's probably like prepared
Yeah,
by
mentally
you know what I mean?
prepared.
Like
yeah.
the the fans get crazy, things get crazy, period, just being put in the spotlight. So, like Chantel said, and like if you gotten through your sobriety, you can get through a couple
Yeah.
of thirsty old men, honey. Hey, maybe they'll throw you a check for you and your boyfriend, honey.
I'm like, oh, I appreciate it all in my Venmo and Cash App or in my
Yes,
bio.
exactly, exactly. Chantel, you ask the next question.
Um, were there any specific critiques or moments from the judges that really stuck with you, whether they're positive or negative when you were on the show?
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a great one. Pretty much, I mean, I appreciated everything. It was cool having the guest judges come in because it's a little bit different perspective. Drac called me cinematic like 43 times, which I loved, obviously.
We always say that too. Like when me and Trinity judge you on the review and stuff, we're always like, the thing about Gray is that we can see you literally in a cinematic universe. Like anything
Oh,
on TV,
100%.
like the amount of details that you do with your looks are always like it's
TV
cinematic. Like,
ready.
yeah, like we wouldn't have like we could probably zoom in on your looks and we could be like, okay, the details, sweetie, the details are there. You know what I mean? There's a difference between being detailed and just being artsy, I feel like.
Yeah. It took me, 17 years to really hone and figure out who I wanted to be. And, I think everything matters, even like down to the fabric choice. And then that's why, I mean, I'll just stare at something forever until I'm like, oh, that needs to be tweaked. And then
I
that's when
feel
I
like
feel confident.
also, not to interrupt, sorry to
No,
interrupt, but
you're
I feel
good.
like also what I think makes you so special is that you did come from the haunted house industry,
Oh, yeah.
and people are like walking like up in your face. So you can't just be having like a Party City mask. Like you have to have the mask that looks realistic. And
Has to be
that's,
authentic. Yeah.
yeah, like you slay.
It definitely coming from the haunted house world and, doing our marketing and stuff, I'm used to being in front of the camera. So that definitely gave me kind of a leg up. And then when I do dress up in character at the haunted house, it's basically to entertain the patrons outside. So I'm not scaring people. I'm
Yeah.
more entertaining, interacting, and just kind of being silly, which I mean really transfers well to going to a bar and doing the same thing.
I
Well,
have
with
another
you,
question. Oh, go ahead.
Mhm.
no, you go ahead.
Um, did you know, like when you, I know obviously we all have this delusion, like fantasy, like when we go into any competition, we're like, bitch, I'm gonna win. Like I want to win, I need to win. But like when you went in, did you genuinely know you're like, I'm gonna make top three?
I mean, I don't know if it's delusion or confidence, but
Like, did you walk around the room and be like, bitch, I'm about to slay all
no,
these
no, no, no,
hoes?
These fucking busted
These,
monsters.
right. I mean,
no.
that's something me and Trinity probably would have done.
That's not my personality. Like, uh, I think everyone has a different point of view, which I mean, I find inspiring. I mean, obviously, there were a couple that I saw and like felt more inspired by, but yeah, I was confident going into it. But you also never know what's going to be thrown your way. I
Yeah.
didn't think I was going to be doing a musical, but here we are.
Yeah. Well, you are too nice because we would have said exactly what you just said, but no, there was some
We would
busted
have
ass
spoke our
bitches. There
minds.
was some, yeah, she was ate up. I was not inspired at all. Throw it away.
We're having a funeral for
Um,
that bitch.
so back to what you were talking about earlier. You look at things and you like study them, and you're so detail oriented with your costumes. One of the fans wanted to know, what does your signature head skull marking mean?
That's a good one.
Ooh, so I I guess maybe like 6, 7 years ago, I just started putting different adaptations of that just in the center of my head, whether it was like teeth or all kinds of just weird stuff. It's just a focal point, and it's
Is
like an
there any
important.
monsters that you've seen that have like inspired that, or did you just kind of like say, I'm gonna do this?
I mean, I'm sure it's been done before. It's just kind of something I adopted. I always
Yeah.
liked having something right there. And then I'm such a shapeshifter that I just think it's important because I don't have mainly a signature makeup that I do and I'm stuck with all the time.
Yeah.
So that just helps me be recognizable. And it doesn't look great in every single look. So sometimes I'll hide it, but um, that's pretty much it. And it's gray matter. I'm all about brains, and some fans don't like it, and I'm just like, sorry, too
Love
bad.
it.
At
I
least
think
you
it's
have a
very cool.
brand. I love it.
I think
Yeah,
it's
and it's
very
great for branding too. So, I
yeah.
mean, it's a win-win for me.
I love that you also like you have on your merch. I like you incorporate it in your merch. Like I've seen some of your other designs. Like you had made a post. I don't know if it was yours or you just found it, but it worked amazing for your when you reposted my post about your questions. Your
Yeah,
background was like that black and white,
yeah,
and it looked like that marking.
it is. And I just take that and just twist it and distort it. And I kind of committed to doing that in every single post. And I don't regret it yet, but we'll see.
No, you
Yeah.
shouldn't. It's very identifiable, and like you said,
Yeah,
it's a signature. Even though your drag is very all over the place, like you don't have like a signature
Transformative.
look, which is great. I like that. I think that's more well-rounded. But I
thank
do
you.
think the fact that you have that one connecting piece
Yeah,
definitely is a signature. And if people don't like it, girl, who
Fuck
cares?
them. Who gives
yeah.
a
Yeah,
shit?
fuck them.
I went to business school and I majored in business entrepreneurship and minored in marketing. So I'm putting that degree to good use.
Very cool. Chantel, you have another question?
Um, what's something that the audience, or what's something you wish the audience knew about your experience on Dragula that didn't come across on the screen?
Um, Shoot. Um, so it's kind of hard to go into this. pressure cooker and not make friends immediately. But like Auntie and I were pretty close from the beginning, but we try not to like pull that on camera instantly. So I made connections with pretty much every single one on the cast. So I don't know. I'm like, we're not all kumbaya. Obviously, there were
Yeah.
spicy moments. I'm not into drama, and that's just not like how I thrive. And if someone wants to come for me, go for it. But I'm more like a do no harm but take no shit kind of person. I don't
I'm
know
very
if
much
that.
a person where like I don't like to I like to know what I'm walking into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it stresses me out to not be in a situation where I know what I'm walking into. So that's why I asked the question because it's like, is there anything that people don't get to see on the show that you wish that people could have gotten to see?
Well, there's
But
lots, but I don't think I can talk about
oh,
it.
okay, no problem.
I love walking into a situation and like competition wise and not know what to
I hate
expect.
it.
I feel like that motivates me and feeds my adrenaline. And
Yeah.
I'm a type of person that I do my best work when I'm under pressure.
Yeah.
I do
I
too, but I still feel like I'd like to know kind of what's going to happen.
yeah. I mean, and there were peaks and valleys when it came to that, but like I said, I was pretty confident going into it because I mean, I too work well under pressure and I know I can create anything pretty quickly. Um, I mean, as someone who's watched the show several times, you kind of get an idea of what's going to happen, but you know they're going to throw curveballs at you. But all you can do is just like do the next right thing, put your best foot forward, and really focus on yourself and not
Yeah,
the unimportant shit that's going on in the background.
right.
Well, with the cast from the first person who left to all the way through the top three, who would you fuck, marry, kill?
Oh Jesus. Marry Asia because I love her. Who are we gonna fuck?
They're
That's
like, I need to think of
spicy.
this.
Yeah, I mean, I've been asked it before and I just never have a good answer. They're all boogers.
Right.
I'm just kidding. I love them. Uh, let's say, we'll say fuck Yuri because she can be like, oh no, the whole time. And then I'm
Yuri's a
That
still,
cutie
I'm gonna kill Auntie.
okay. And
Bury
why
that
would you
bitch.
kill Auntie?
because they're an anti-heroine.
Yeah. No, I love Auntie and she's funny to me. And in our podcast interview with Ian, I was like, she's first to sacrifice in a horror movie just because she's like my sister and that's our relationship. So
You just push her in front of the demon.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
exactly. Bye, Auntie.
it. Chantel, do you have any more questions?
Um,
I have one more fan
I got
question.
one.
Okay.
If you had to pick one Dragula queen to team up with for an all-star season, who would it be and what would your team's concept be? You don't have to
Well,
answer all of them.
so who would I like to work with?
Yeah,
I
if
don't
you
know
got
what.
asked to do all-stars, like who would you want to work with?
Oh God, there's so many that I like. Is this going to be a winter season?
I think it would be like
Oh,
Resurrection, right? Resurrection's like your version of All Stars.
Yeah, I mean
yeah, I
they have
guess.
Titans. They have
Oh,
Titans where they
Titans.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I was
Yes.
thinking,
Yes.
Titans.
Titans.
Because
Yes.
don't they bring winners back too for Titans?
Sometimes. Haven't they? No?
no, I
Well,
don't
let's
think
do
Not
an
so.
yet.
all
Not
winners season. So if you wanted
yeah.
to do an all winners season, who would you want to be on your season?
I'm
Specifically,
probably
just one person.
I haven't been able to meet a lot of them, so I think it would depend on that dynamic. But I love Vander, and Vander basically started this whole obsession for me. So I'm gonna choose Vander.
I love
Me
Vander.
too.
I've gotten
Vander's
to
so
know
sweet.
Vander. I did a UK tour with them. So sweet. Drag
Yeah,
Very supportive too of local drag.
fantastic.
yeah. I got
Yeah,
to
very
meet Vander
supportive.
this weekend, so it was wonderful.
Yes, fierce, fierce, fierce. Well, the last question that we have for you before we let you go and gallivant in Los
Go on
Angeles
vacation.
is who is your first ever drag artist you ever saw live?
Holy moly. Um, like you mean like a more well-known drag queen?
Any of
Just
them,
anyone.
like anyone that you remember, like from your memory, like who was the first? It could be any kind of drag.
Yeah, it was
Who was the first?
probably Coffee, who's one of our like just community leaders in Houston, because they used to host a amateur drag night. But I also probably started watching Drag Race season 7, and I remember seeing Pearl a couple times and Trixie and Willem. So I think those were probably. I also was like, I think finally able to get into a bar at that point. So I
Yeah,
think that's what sticks out to me so far.
fierce. My first drag queen I ever saw, I don't remember their name. I was 17. It was in New Orleans, and I had a fake ID and I snuck into this really tiny hole in the wall called Oz.
Yeah,
Oh,
And
Oz.
yeah, and the stage is like literally a step. And
Yeah,
we walk in, and as soon as we walk in, we see this drag queen on the stage in this ginormous white wedding gown that takes up the entire stage, and she's doing Celine Dion, It's All Coming Back to Me Now. And like it's in the middle of the height of the song, and it's just dramatic. And I was like, cap
career.
I was captivated. I was like, what is this?
Yeah,
It was just it was fantastic. Of course, that was before I could actually get in bars, so it was my first time ever being in a bar too. So,
yeah.
um,
I grew up, or my sister's a year younger, and she had a dress up box with all my mom's old Halloween costumes. So I would be rollerblading in like a red dress and a clown wig when I was like 7 years old.
yes, rollerblading.
My mom's like, he's probably gonna be gay when he's older.
How is your family with that?
They were actually incredibly supportive. I didn't come out until I was like 19. I guess I didn't embrace and accept the fact that, I'm gay. There's no going back from this until I was 19. And I came out pretty quickly and was just met with support. And they love me the same. So yeah, they wonderful about it.
That's fierce. Well,
Yeah,
before we let you go, do you think you're gonna win?
I know I'm gonna win.
Okay,
I'm
good.
like, no questions about it. I mean, I love the other finalists, but this is my time to shine. And I mean, I worked hard. I threw my name in the ring when I knew I was ready to take this crown home. So you just
Well,
gotta
good
wait.
luck.
It's gonna be a week or two.
We're
I'm
excited.
excited.
Yeah, good luck to you. I'm rooting for you. I know Chantel's rooting for you. You're just so
Honestly,
fantastic.
all three of y'all are amazing, and we're rooting for all y'all.
I agree, and I'm doing the same thing. Like it's gonna be great no matter what.
Yeah.
The three of us represent a lot. We've been through hard times, and we all add a different facet to the brand. So I mean, I'm
And if,
not,
if if you lose, you're not losing to, somebody
Some
who
boogers.
like
yeah,
who doesn't deserve it because like all three of you are pretty
yeah.
much on an equal playing field for sure.
We're very close, and we're always keeping up and supporting each other. So it's gonna be good no matter what.
Yeah, fierce. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us and letting us know a little bit more about you.
Y'all
Yeah, it was
are
good to
so
meet
We'll
you.
hang
sweet.
out sometime.
Why was I scared to do this?
You weren't scared? Don't be scared.
No, I'm just kidding. I really do appreciate y'all taking the time to get to know me, and I can't wait to see what y'all come up with next.
Yes, let's keep in touch.
Yes, for
Let's do
sure.
it.
All
Thank
right.
you, Ray. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my goodness,
He's
he's
so
such a
sweet.
sweetheart.
Very soft spoken, very well spoken. He's like a teddy bear.
Super excited to have Gray on. Let's move on to the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Um,
So Auntie comes back into the room. They're not
yep,
eliminated.
yes. But I mean, we kind of saw that coming, right?
Yeah, we knew. I mean, at this point in the competition, like we've said multiple times, like we just kind of know who's going to be on their way out. So it is what it is, you know?
It would have been a gag though, had she went home.
There could have been a lot of gags, but there hasn't been no gags with these eliminations.
Well, no, pie was a gag.
Oh, Pie was. I
Pie
will
was
say
a
that's the
gag.
one gag that I was because I was like, Pie surely isn't going home.
Yeah. Yeah. So we find out that she's staying. Um, there's a little banter in the beginning, but whatever. Boulets come on the screen and announce that the final floor show that decides the top three is the Dead by Daylight challenge, where they have to create a character for Dead by Daylight
The
urban
video game.
Yes. It's like it's gonna be in the winner of this challenge is gonna get their character put
Like
in.
a skin put into the game, which I
Yeah,
was fucking so jealous because, girl, you know me, like I've been playing Dead by Daylight since it first came out. Like I have at least 1,500 hours invested into that game.
I
So when
love this
they,
game. So I've not played it much, only when I've played it a couple of times with you. But I love the game.
well,
Uh,
I've been playing it where I feel like they've added so many perks into the game and like it's become more magical than it is becoming. It used to be more of a hide and seek game where
yeah.
like you had to hide from the killer. And now
Oh,
it's kind of like the killer can see you from different auras across the map and all these other things. And it's just gotten so much harder, and things have changed. I don't play it as much anymore, but I was so excited when they said this challenge because I was like, bitch, they got to create a killer. This is my ultimate dream.
that's fierce. Well, we find out the fright feat this week is to put their hands in a full terrarium tank
No,
of
ma'am.
tarantulas,
No,
and they have to
ma'am.
pull Dead by Daylight game cartridge out.
No, ma'am.
And if any of them fail to do this, then they are immediately
Send me home. No,
exterminated.
No, ma'am. Pam said, Sam, I am.
Isn't that crazy? No, I would do
When
it.
sh when anti-heroin started talking about all these like true facts of what the tarantulas did. They shoot their hair and you get fiberglass. They bite you. They jump at you. I was like, absolutely not.
Oh, girl. Of course they're not gonna pick a deadly.
Well, no,
It's just like
it's not gonna be
it's
deadly,
just
but
like snakes. It's just like any other animal. There's
I
different
don't like
variations.
spiders.
And, they're going to pick the safest version for what they're
But
doing.
I will say that when they stuck their hands in there, them spiders looked like they had done this one too many times
Yeah.
because
I
they
mean,
didn't bite them, they didn't do nothing. When they touched them,
sure.
they ran.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I was,
They're not going to endanger
but
them.
what's crazy though is they had to put the eye patches over them.
Yeah.
And I was scared. I was like, no, ma'am.
Yeah. It was
Could you
fair.
imagine?
I would do it. I love it. That tarantulas don't bother me.
Me and you have such total opposite fears and like things that we like, even with food. It's crazy.
Well, scorpions, I would be fearful.
Girl, they would sting you and you die.
That's what I'm saying. Scorpions, that would probably bother me. Depending on what kind of snake it is, that would bother me.
Could you
Uh,
imagine though putting your hand into the box and then like you just feel these little fuzzy furry legs like moving around?
Yeah,
Oh,
that'd be fun. Tarantulas don't scare me because they don't look scary to me. They look like little teddy bear spiders.
they don't look like that to me, bitch.
They do to me. Anyway, we find out all of them get through it and they're just fine. I was gonna ask you, would you get through it? And you answer my
Well, I
question.
was saying it before we even started.
Yes, bitch. Well, so we move on to the runway and the Boulets come out, and this is one of the most iconic Boulet looks to me.
It's
Um,
giving dusk till dawn,
the
tales from the
actual
crypt.
the actual look is pretty simple, but that's because the focal point is the face, bitch.
Yeah, that's what
They
I was
have on,
thinking.
it's not a mask, bitch. This is prosthetic. This is movie quality
It's
prosthetic.
prosthetic to the eyeball, the eyelid, because when
I
they move
mean,
their lids
it
and blink and
looks
stuff.
incredible. It's scary. I was living. They look so cool. To me, this is a bloodbath.
Me too. Like at first I was like, ew, the gowns are a little basic. But then when I started really looking at the whole look, I liked that the focal point was the prosthetics. To
Yeah,
me, the way that the vampire faces looked. Have you seen that movie Dusk Till Dawn?
yeah,
It gave me very that. Like
scary.
one thing I like about the Boulets is that they really try to show homage. Is that how you say homage or homage?
Homage.
Homage, something, whatever. They always show that to older horror,
Yeah,
and it's so nostalgic. It's everything in a box wrapped in one, and it's so fierce. I gave it a bloodbath.
fierce. Auntie comes out in
an indigenous folklore horror character.
yes. Tell me more.
Um, they basically to me look like just a demon, like a dragon demon-esque character. For
Uh-huh.
me, the wings automatically like when I look at wings, that's the first thing I look at on a
Yeah.
character.
Hmm.
And to me, the wings look cheap as hell. They're
I said the same thing.
yeah, the wings were not detailed. They were giving just they look like plastic. You know what I mean?
To me, the
Was
whole thing,
cheap.
other than the face, her face was fierce. I like
Yeah.
that she changed up her makeup finally, and it looked
It's really
different.
all about choice of materials. Like the
Yeah, the
materials look like shit.
bodysuit looked like a drag queen dance bodysuit. Like, what are you trying to? What kind of demon would have a drag queen dance bodysuit on? Like,
Yeah, it's almost, and the thing, this is the thing, is like I'm going into this challenge and I'm thinking, okay, I want to see a unique killer that you would see in the realm of Dead by Daylight. What would
yeah,
the entity choose as their next person to sacrifice human beings? And to me, this already looked like something I've seen before. I was like, girl, you literally look like um there's a character in Mortal Kombat that is like a demon. I think it's Natara. It's one of them. But anyway, I've seen it before. I was like, the choice of materials looks cheap. I want to see more grunginess too to your character. Like if you're a demon from the pits of hell, bitch, I want the wings kind of burnt looking. I want like smoke marks. You know what I mean?
yeah. Now, I will say this: it is not horrible.
It's not.
She is very detailed with like everything looks
It
nice.
looks cohesive.
It looks well made. It just looks cheap
It
in the
didn't
same
look
way.
like that it was in the realm of the entity for Dead by Daylight, though.
Yes. So for that, I'm gonna say that this is a dull knife. I'm not
I
gonna give
gave
it
it a
a
dull
flat
knife too.
line because I do think overall it is nice.
But girl, for top four,
It's just not it's just not dirty enough.
like I've seen
It doesn't look like
Dragula. Go ahead, sorry.
it just doesn't look like the character from Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, and I've seen so many episodes. I mean, I've watched all the seasons of Dragula, and I feel like this top four, no T, is not bringing that power. You know what I mean?
I think
Like,
some of them are.
I don't know, girl. Like,
For
I'm judging
me,
based
for
off the
me,
competition
for me,
of like what they're
I
giving
do.
us. Because,
Yeah,
like,
to
if they're
me,
asking for killers in the realm of Dead by Daylight, especially if you're in front of the devs, come on, we want to see uniqueness. You know what I mean? But for me, I gave this a Del 9.
yeah. Up next we have Asia, and Asia consent is in this. It looks like a some sort of animal skull with like some sort of
Well,
antlers.
she called it a Wendigo.
I don't know what that is.
A Wendigo is like a snow creature that's like from I think it's like a folklore creature, but
Yeah,
they're like snow like
dwellers.
creatures, like
Yeah.
dwellers or demons with long arms and stuff. I mean, there's different interpretations of it. But yeah, that's pretty much what she was supposed to be.
I thought this looked great. I think that she probably could have done more with the middle, like her torso part. But overall, I did think this looked great. Especially the headpiece. This immediately, I was like, I could see this in Dead by Daylight, and I haven't played it that much, but I could see this kind of character in the this realm, this world. I liked it. Um, Again, I wish there was a little bit more in the midsection, and I would have given this a bloodbath. So because I feel like it was missing something, I'm gonna say it's killer.
For me, I really liked the fact that she did play into the over sexualization to her body because in Dead by Daylight, the main audience to Dead by Daylight is like the LGBTQ plus community. And you know, us gays, honey, we love to play with a female character. And so for me, when I saw her come out with that, I was like, okay, it's giving sex goddess demon from
You know
hell.
what? Actually, you know what? Can I change mine? I think you describing that made me change my decision.
It made me
I
want to
think
choose her.
I think if I was playing it, I would choose, you're right. I would have chosen the
A
sexy.
badass female character.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm changing mine. I'm changing it to a bloodbath because I do agree with you. I just felt like like for costume wise, like I wish it was more, but I
But you got
agree
to
with
think of
you.
what we're
But I
judging it
agree
by.
with you. If I was choosing a character for a video game, it would be the sexy girl, even if she was a monster.
Yeah. For me, I really liked how she like really played into that part of her body.
Yeah.
Um, I will say that the staff looked very cheap. Like if you're going to be a Wendigo demon character from Dead by Daylight, like the character, especially if you're walking around with the weapon, the weapon needs to look like it's going to really hurt somebody.
So I liked when Asia pulled her staff apart and it became like a double weapon where she could like that was her kill moment.
Yeah.
I did think that that was really cool.
Yeah, I do like now that you're talking about that, I do like the fact that she was able to use the weapon like that. But I just feel like if it's going to be a staff as well, like make it look a little bit more big. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I do.
saying?
I do think that it was a little thin. I can agree with you with that.
I also say, because I'm a huge fan of the game, and there is a character that looks very similar to what she played. And the character is called the Huntress. And she walks around with this like so the original face that she has is like a bunny face, but there's
Uh-huh.
another skin where she looks like she's wearing the horns like that she has. And she's running
Oh.
around with an axe and she throws axes at the people to like kill them. So when she came out, I was like, I feel like I've already seen a skin similar to this. So with that being said, I feel like I've seen this. It's not something that's like, wow, oh my God, this is unique. So I did at first give it just killer. But after I started seeing all the rest of the looks on the runway, I was like, okay, this is giving bloodbath. Because
Yeah.
I'm judging based also like off our top four.
Oh, you are
We're doing
comparatively
comparative.
judging. Oh,
Everybody
wow.
step to the left. Okay, now
Oh,
step to the right.
oh,
Make a slight
wow.
turn. We want to see the
Yeah,
backs. Okay, now it's we want you all to start modeling and give us your best
they do
poses.
that in pageantry. So you are doing comparative swimsuit, bitch.
Yes, bitch.
I live, I live. Well, up next we have Yuri, and Yuri is also another
A mud mermaid.
yes, like from Illinois, from but she doesn't know.
Which was so funny too, because her and Auntie are like trying to like make nice, I guess.
Yeah,
And Auntie is from Illinois.
yeah. And she's obviously getting annoyed that Yuri doesn't know anything about this character.
Yeah, she's like, I don't even know what this is, but I'm just gonna be this character because it's cool. Which I will say, the character was unique. It was different. I was like, okay, I would love to see a mermaid in Dead by Daylight.
I hated it.
Listen, I didn't like it
Crushed
either.
velvet. Two words. Crushed velvet.
Crush it, throw it out, throw it in the mud, stomp on it. But listen, the concept itself as a killer, I was like, this is interesting. But she didn't hit the mark, honey. She didn't do the kill.
No.
No.
No, bitch. No.
um,
I thought the one thing I did like about it, I did like the claws, her kill motion that it was like the claws came together and then she went in like needles.
yeah,
I
I thought it
did
would be
think that
interesting.
looked cool, but overall it just looked like a
Didn't even
drowned
look like a
swamp
mermaid.
witch. It looked like a drowned swamp witch.
The bottom didn't even look really like a mermaid tail. I will say, I mean, obviously I gave this, it was shit. Like it was a dull, not even a dull knife. It was flatline. But I will say, like I said, I'm thinking of the realm of Dead by Daylight, and it would be interesting to see a character like because when they build a killer, they also build a map that the survivors like play on.
Uh-huh.
And it would be cool to like be in this like muddy, swampy area, kind of like what there's another character called the Hag, and she's like the swamp witch. So it'd be cool to like have a character like jump out of the mud and like kill them and stab them with their
Well,
hand.
you know what we don't do? We don't do concepts, Trump. We don't do concepts. Okay, we need a full
Not the
plan.
concepts, bitch.
We need a full plan. Okay, sweetie, we don't need concepts.
So what do you give this?
A flatline. It was not good.
That's it?
Flatline is the worst.
There's got to be something worse than
Girl, there ain't no
I
anything
know, I'm
worse.
just kidding.
It's a flat line, sweetie. She is dead, honey.
Yes,
Dead to
God.
me. Last but not least, we have our dreamy
Husband.
husband of the season, Gray Matter, and Gray, um, is like I forgot what they call it, but he's like half goat, half
He's
demon.
basically like a yeah, he's like a goat demon.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like I've seen this already.
Of course we've seen this. Of course we've seen this. I will say the prosthetics, his face, and how he performed this was scary.
Girl,
Like,
she had looked like she had went to Cancun and got the only BBL.
girl, like throw up blood everywhere. It was disgusting. It was scary. If I saw this like outside somewhere, I would literally run for my life.
No,
I
I will
I
say
will
the
say I hated the fur coat.
mm,
And the fur on the bottom looked a little cheap compared to what I would have expected. I think it did look better in the lighting, like in the like on stage lighting outside of their performance.
yeah.
Um, but I did like this. I did enjoy it. Um, I was it was kind of weird. I couldn't tell if he had on one of those rubber
He
muscle
did.
suits. I'm like, girl, show off your little twinkie body. Wait, like, why does everything have to be muscle? Like, it's okay to be a twink.
Yeah, I think honestly though, the way that how big his hips and like legs were, it just would have looked so disproportionate.
So to me, it might have looked even more bizarre. Like you could
Maybe.
paint you could paint where your ribs are and concave yourself even more and make
Yeah.
yourself look even more like slinky and sinister, long up top. It might have been a cooler out finished product. I don't know. It didn't look bad with the muscle thing. I would have rather have seen like if he's naturally skinny, just a naturally skinny contoured body because that with ribs and stuff could have looked really scary.
Yeah. I just think also, you know how I told you after like I've seen it. There's
Yeah.
another skin too that is like a Krampus skin. So it's kind of like gave me Krampus as well because like the demon and stuff. But because like if you were to just throw like a little like Christmas stuff on him, he would have looked like Krampus,
Yeah.
you
I
know?
totally yeah, I can totally see that. I can
It's
totally
not
see
a
it.
unique character.
But, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it not necessarily being unique as long as it's done well. And overall, I think it was done well.
Yeah.
If the fur was better quality, I would have given this a bloodbath, but because the fur was a little lackluster, I'm gonna give this a killer.
Yeah, I gave it killer as well. I did think it was great. Judging by like what was presented and stuff, the details were great. So, yeah, killer.
Yeah. So who was your favorite look and who was your favorite performance?
Both Asia.
Okay. My favorite look was Gray's. There was certain thing, like I said at first, I mean, if we're just looking based off the look, I felt like Asia's midsection was missing something. Also, her fur didn't look that great either.
Mm.
Um, and I just think that Gray's like prosthetic work, the blood, it just looked authentic. Like from here up, it was really fucking scary. It was the scariest one to me.
I think
Um,
what's also cool about Asia's though, she had that blue heart right here. And in the game, like when certain things happen, your heart starts showing and like glowing. So I
and
thought that
in the
was fun to play
dark,
on.
that looked cool, but when
But
it
up
was
close, it
even,
looked cheap.
but even any little bit of light that was shining on it, it looked like a toy.
Yeah.
I didn't
But it
like
was a
that.
cool idea.
Yeah, it was a cool idea. But my favorite performance was Asia's for sure.
Work. Who was
Um,
your worst performance?
my well, I'll do my least favorite look and my least favorite performance. My least favorite look is Yuri down. It would
Same.
just look the crushed velvet just killed it for me. It just her crushed velvet crushed it for me
In
in
all
all
the
the
wrong
wrong ways.
ways.
And then my least favorite performance was Auntie, and I think it was because her costume was kind of bulky. It was kind of hard for her to actually perform in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was kind of just meh to me.
yeah. Mine was Yuri and both. I just didn't like it.
So Asia in both and Yuri in both.
Nope.
So I bet that your winner is Asia.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah, my winner is also Asia. And then if you had to choose a bottom two, who would it be?
Bottom two would probably be Yuri and Auntie.
Same, same. Um, we find out that the winner is Asia, and she's gonna get her character skin in Dead by Daylight.
Which I'm
And
excited.
she's also guaranteed a top spot for the top three finale. The other three do not get that luxury.
They are up for extermination.
They are up for extermination, and we find out the extermination this week is a live version of Dead by Daylight, and they're having to
Gather blood points by
gather blood points,
collecting these little tiny things that look like caskets, and each time you get it, it gives you like 50 points. And
and they're
then the people are
attacked
like,
by these people with paintball guns. Every time
yes.
you get shot, you get points deducted, and it's it's kind of scary because um we're going into we'll talk about it in a second. It gets really intense, especially towards the end. But before we go into that, they go into the cauldron,
Yes.
and they're having a discussion, especially Yuri and Auntie, and just to be blunt, and and to be frank, I'm a fan of Auntie. This whole season, I feel like Auntie has killed it for the most part. Also, when we interviewed Auntie, came across very genuine. But I will say, in this Untucked, the way that she was talking to Yuri, it was annoying. It was like, what do
Yeah,
you have to
it
prove?
came
Why
off
do you have to
very
keep?
abrasive.
Yeah, why do you have to keep beating her down? There's no reason for you to do that.
Yeah.
And I felt like when they were fighting, Yuri was right. She's being negative. She's been negative a lot, and she's being abrasive, and I'm okay with somebody being honest, even brutally honest, but I don't think you have to bring somebody else down to uplift yourself.
Yeah, I
And
don't like that.
and that to me was annoying. Um, anyway, we go into the extermination, and Auntie clears with getting the points. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way that Auntie is not in the top three. But we're seeing the count go up and down based off of them getting blood points and getting those taken away by getting hit by the paintball with Yuri and Gray. And it ends up, the screen goes blank when they were even. So we don't know who actually got
Girl,
more.
we know who's going home.
Well, you never know. I do feel like a lot of for the most part, this season has been judged fairly. I do feel like that. I do feel like every extermination has been pretty fair, and it would have been a gag.
Who do you think
But
is going to go home? Just
well,
from your opinion.
I already know.
Who?
But we already know it's gonna be Yuri who gets eliminated.
Did they show it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that. Oh, wait. Yeah, yeah, I do remember her going home. I was
Yeah,
like,
they had that very dramatic, the most dramatic extermination
yes.
video
Oh
at
my
the
God. Yes.
end.
Girl, I have my notes right here.
Yeah. But I will say I loved the ending
The
where
kill scene was hilarious.
except for I felt like it was like all of this like build up, and then it was like
Boom.
I was like, "Oh, that was it."
It was giving
Uh,
Final
It
Destination.
would have been fierce had they followed her all the way home to her living room, and then the Boulets popped out of somewhere and just like slit her throat. That would have been fierce.
That would
That
have.
would
But
have
you know what? I was really happy for her because they really gave her a lot of screen time. I think the Boulets really like them.
Yeah, and I think that Yuri did a great job. They definitely got better as time went on, and they deserved their top four spot. But I think the top three is so strong. There's no
Yeah.
denying Asia, Gray, and Auntie are the, absolute deserving top three.
Yeah, they're fierce.
Now, before we go, like always, who is going to win the season?
I don't know. Who do you think?
I always tell you only one name, and I teeter-totter between Asia and Gray. I feel like both would be such a great addition. Even a Auntie would be a great addition for sure too. Um, I think it's gonna be Auntie. I just feel like
You think Auntie's gonna win?
I mean not Auntie, I'm sorry. Asia. I feel like
Oh,
the
good.
Boulets really, really, really like
I
her.
think they're all three great, obviously, but I just
Yes.
don't because of how the story is being written and it's TV. I think it's gonna be Asia.
Yeah. Now I would love for Gray to win.
Asia has also had the most confessionals.
Mm, that is a telltale sign. That is a telltale sign. Now, anybody listening, who do you think is going to win and who do you want to win? Those are two different questions that can be the same answer, but who do you think is going to win and who do you want to win? Leave that in our comments on YouTube. And before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment on all of our videos for the merch package, and check out Serve Vodka Mixed Berries and follow Chantel at Chantel Sparkles, her hair page at Glitter Bomb Wigs, me on TikTok, Trinity the Talk, and both of us just created a Blue Sky account, so go follow us there. And I'm excited to see what happens for the rest of the season. Until next time.
Bye.